I'm Wendy Morrison.
And I'm Josh Parker.
And we're riding 2 adventure motorcycles from Portland, Oregon to Usuahia, Patagonia. Top to bottom. Let's go.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
We were trying to decide whether we were going to just blast all the way to Mexico and really get the international part of the trip started, or if we were going to take our time and meander through California and take in the sights and visit friends. Fortunately, I forgot my debit card.
That gave us 7 days to fuck around Southern California. We were gonna hit up Yosemite, the California BDR, and Trona Pinnacles.
Hit a little bit of Highway 1. Crossed over the Golden Gate Bridge into San Francisco.
What are you doing over there?
I don't know, just saw my moment. What do I do now?
All the way to the front. Coming?
Trying. I'm stuck behind this guy merging. Where'd you go?
Off these cars.
This just feels illegal.
Merging into the highway.
We tried to find some dirt roads in the Diablo range, but unfortunately we found closed gate after closed gate after closed gate.
This is the road we were trying to take. Really don't want you to get in there. Looks super fun though.
We decided to set our sights more on the western side of the state at that point and start heading towards the Southern California BDR. But
Oops, ran into Yosemite National Park. Got to see some little climbers on El Capitan. Hikers. Climbers?
climbers.
There's 2 people right there. For context, that's the spot right there.
Somebody, oops.
Oops, Yosemite.
Oops, Yosemite. Because California doesn't have any dirt roads that we can trespass on.
Not on this side of the state.
We gotta go to the east side of the state.
Which is where we're headed.
Lesson learned. Bishop, here we come.
All right, back to BDR.
The day was getting really late at that point. As the sun was setting, we rode through these beautiful curvy mountain roads, found a campsite at Saddlebag Lake. It's a defunct, closed campground.
Up at 10,000 feet elevation.
So we rolled in at dark and didn't really even know where we were or what it looked like until morning.
I think I'm gonna skip it.
Check 1 2. We're arriving in Saddlebag Ridge Dam and we're heading to Bishop. Over and out.
A little background. About 2 years ago, Wendy and some friends of ours did the Southern California BDR in late February from south to north as it's intended to be ridden. But we ran into snow in section 7 in some of the higher passes and we ended up having to turn around. But we never actually finished it.
Since we're completionists, we had to go hit that last section.
A few little water crossings later, we met our match at this really brutal hill climb.
Section 7 BDR expert hill climb. Pretty hard. Josh wheelied it. He was taking the bypass over there. I'm gonna meet him at the top.
It was super loose, incredibly steep, and the bikes were so loaded down, especially mine, that I just couldn't keep the front wheel down and I couldn't get enough traction to make it up the hill. I ended up doing a backflip, smashed the front end of my bike. I partially crushed the rally tower and had to spend a half hour or so disassembling it and bending all the brackets back into shape.
Of course, we have no footage of any of this.
Yeah, no GoPros were filming at the time.
Yeah.
We came down from the Southern California BDR into Lone Pine.
We camped for the night in Alabama Hills. Beautiful snow-capped peaks in the background.
I think so far that was the only night we camped where we actually showed up before dark.
We might give ourselves some guidelines. Camp before dark.
And don't go down any roads you don't think you can come back up.
Which we learned the next day after we left the Alabama Hills. We were attempting to bushwhack our way from Lone Pine to the Trona Pinnacles through Darwin.
A lot of the paved roads around that area were closed. We came to a blockade and Wendy managed to talk our way through it. The pavement wasn't that bad. There were sections on the edges where the road had washed out. So we didn't expect the dirt roads to be quite as bad as they actually were. Once we came through Darwin, the first road we picked was absolutely destroyed, totally washed out and impassable.
I wonder if this was a result of the hurricane too. Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah, that's a no-go.
After that, Wendy found another sandy 2-track that dropped us into a valley, had a washed out river that was super fun to ride, really well hard-packed. Some things started to get a little looser and a little harder to ride. Downhill sections, while totally fine going downhill, would have been very intimidating to come back up.
So what could go wrong?
Well, we got ourselves into a pickle. We told ourselves that we would not go down anything we couldn't go back up. We went down some things that we'd rather not go back up. And we found ourselves at this washout here. There's some rocky stair steps in the riverbank that make that not really the ideal path. With all this washout here, the same thing was right here. But we spent the last half hour at least backfilling all of this with rocks so that we're gonna gingerly walk the bikes across this and then to safety.
It's too easy. Too easy.
So, what did we learn?
We learned that when the paved roads are washed out, that probably means the dirt roads are also washed out, but probably way more.
At that point, we had burned a lot of daylight and we still had to make it to Trona Pinnacles.
I'm assuming that that's what this road is gonna look like, just bombed out, you know?
Yeah. That feels like a good sign.
Let's go follow the crazy.
We rode through sunset again on our way out to Trona Pinnacles, rescued a front-wheel drive Mazda who had buried themselves in the sand.
We ended up setting up camp in the middle of the Trona Pinnacles. There's an established fire ring there, but it happened to be the windiest possible place we could put the tents.
We did not get a good night's sleep, and the next morning, we're happy to say goodbye to Trona Pinnacles in our little rearview mirrors as we headed out.
We were exhausted that day, and the next thing we had to do was ride a bunch of freeway into Los Angeles. How lovely.
So we got into LA, ready to chill. No, we weren't. We were ready to get the fuck out of LA as soon as we got into LA.
At this point, we're also desperately in need of oil changes.
Gross. We made some chocolate fondue of an oil change in my sister's garage.
My bike had started to ride a little rougher. I stopped at Moto Republic, and the owner there was incredibly helpful and pointed out how absolutely toasted my chain was. Managed to find a new chain and sprocket in the Honda dealership in Long Beach. Our friend Davin invited us to the Biltwell Moto Shop. They had plenty of tools and a bike lift.
So now we're in Encinitas, California, ready to cross that border and start this international vacation.
Yeah.
We needed 2 weeks to plan our trip for the next year.
Which isn't to say we've necessarily planned anything. We've learned lessons, and now we get to apply those lessons internationally.
The plan is to get lost and figure it out along the way.
So, we'll see where this goes.
Let's go.
We've been overseas for all of an hour, and we're already trying to fake some documents. So we're gonna get our Photoshop on.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.